Hello YouTube fans and welcome to Retire in Lake Chapala, where we provide you with all the information you need to make informed decisions about moving to Lake Chapala. And speaking of making informed decisions, today we have with us our latest retirement seminar people, Scott and Camille. Thanks for joining me today, Scott.
Happy to be here.
You guys have just taken the course, so tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to be down here and how you came to choose Chapala.
Well, why don't you handle that? You did most of the research, pre-research.
Well, basically chose Chapala for the low humidity, the weather. Mexico was a first choice to move to. I actually wanted to go to the beach, but we didn't want to have to move for 4 or 5 or 6 months out of the year. And did some Googling research, and this seemed to be a good place. The reviews were good. We knew it was an expat community. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. And the more I looked at it, read about it, it seemed to be definitely the place to check out. Actually, the only place for us to check out. And then we found you.
That's
and
nice.
yes, and the rest is sort of history, as they say.
So it was really the internet that drove you to go towards Lake Chapala then?
Yes.
Well, the internet affirmed a lot of the things that we were wanting in a place. So, yeah.
Right. So how do you like the area now? You've been here for 2 weeks.
We love it. And, as you know, when you picked us up from the airport and we started day one, we didn't want to have anything really to do with the heat because we felt it was going to be too expaty. And you took us out to Chapala and the other end, and we just looked at each other and went, not so much. And then you brought us back into the plaza, and we went, this is it. This is where we want to be.
So it's safe to say then Ajijic was what you liked the most then of this area?
It seemed to be the community that we were looking for, that we really, in terms of both a good mix of, expats and Mexicans. It wasn't strictly a bunch of gringos, old gringos, retired gringos hanging out. So.
Lots of younger people here too. So you spent the whole first week visiting professionals and things, and how was that? How did they help you with your decision making and the logistics of things?
Ricardo, I can't imagine moving down here, coming down here without having you and the exposure to the introductions to the professionals. This is not like moving from state to state in your home country, and I knew it wouldn't be, but it's also not at all like going on vacation in Mexico, which we had been doing for the past 10 years. You pack a suitcase, you pack your bathing suit, you go down to the beach, you drink margaritas, and you go home, and it's easy. This has been, Scott has said something like it's like drinking from a fire hydrant, a ton of information, and I wouldn't want to do it without you, and I would never recommend anybody coming down here and doing this without, if not you, at least somebody like you.
Yeah, and the folks that you connected us with are the right people. The medical insurance, the medical care, the banking, financial management of your day-to-day life down here, immigration and visa issues. I mean, we would have not known any of that. And, while it is a lot of information to absorb in a week, drink from a fire hose, you need that information because you're constantly making decisions about aspects of your life down here. And we're going back feeling a lot more informed and a lot more in control of the decisions we have to make going forward.
Well, that's what the program is all about, to give you control, to give you the power of choice.
Yeah.
So that you can make the right decisions for your particular situation.
And we know what to do. We know what needs to be done. In addition to everything we've learned, what we now need to do back in the States and how to even better prepare for our move down here in January. So, yeah.
So on a personal scale, you're leaving a lot of your friends and family behind. How do you feel about that, and how do they feel about that?
I can't answer this question because I'll start crying. You know, I think once we're down here and we have a home and we're settled, I can't answer this question. I will start crying.
So it's been difficult to.
Yeah.
It's been
It's
tough. Yes.
been, I think Camille has finally realized what it means that she's going to be leaving grandchildren, children behind. You know, I kid Camille in the 17 years we've been married that I've moved more frequently with her than I did as a military brat with a father who moved every 3 years and 20 years of service, you know, in the U.S. Army. This is another move for me. My kids are grown. I don't have grandkids yet. I don't have they're spread around the country, so there's not this localized attachment I think that Camille is feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can answer it in this way. A lot of the response we've gotten has been, oh my God, Mexico. Oh, it's so dangerous. Why are you going to Mexico? You're going to be dead. You're going to be whisked off by the cartel. And that has been probably the single biggest response. What I think we
From
have found
family.
from family and friends.
yeah,
I think what we have found is I feel safer here than I feel anywhere in the States. We've walked the streets at night. We've walked the streets all through the last 2 weeks.
Ridden
We
the
have met
buses.
people. We've ridden the buses. And I don't know, and I've traveled to different places in the world. I don't know where I have met the single kindest, nicest people that I have here. And I'm not talking necessarily about the expats. The expats have been awesome, they've been generous, helpful, but it's the locals, the Mexicans, that have been kinder than any group of people I think I've ever met. And I feel safer here than anywhere in the States. So I never had to use my gun, not once.
Well, that's good. That's encouraging to know.
yeah.
You mentioned earlier that you kind of found this on the internet, Lake Chapala, and obviously you watched a whole ton of YouTube videos. Has the YouTube videos described Lake Chapala well for you? Has it met your expectations, or were your thoughts different than what the YouTube videos portray? How do you feel about it now that you've spent here a couple of weeks here?
You know, I think the YouTube videos were terrific for giving kind of an introductory. I think what we experienced with you in the first week here was the customization of that. That, you know, you asked us like, well, I think you sent me some questions to begin with. And, you know, we responded, you said, okay. And you built the seminar around those, you know, my responses to those questions. So the YouTube videos were great, yours, others as well, in terms of giving an intro to the Lake Chapala region. You know, we had a sense of the geography, we had a sense, you know, of the communities with people walking down with their video. And, you know, you had some really specific interviews with people and some specific issues, the 12 best things about, you know, which I learned, you know, about a year before I came down. I think just the last 2 weeks, and I can't imagine doing it in a week either, you know, just your seminar and going home. I think it has taken us the 2 weeks to say, okay, we know what we need to do now, and we know what we want to, where we want to be, and what we need to do to get here in 3 months. So.
And I think the other thing too, that obviously being here, you've got to feel what it feels like.
Yeah.
We've moved enough and things can look really good. You can read about it, you can watch YouTube videos, all of that, but until you're actually in the place, and it won't be a fit for everybody. You know,
No, it's not.
it won't be a fit. But it feels good being here. And the first week, in all honesty, and we've been to Mexico, go to Mexico every year for the last 10, 11 years, I was not surprised by the culture and the difference in lifestyle. But the first week didn't really feel like a fit for me. And I questioned, is this the place? But now I don't want to leave tomorrow. I'm already sad about leaving and I can't wait to get back in 2 months. So being here and being here long enough, as Scott said, it's not just a week, but to really begin to get a feel for what it's like here. It takes a little longer, but I can see why people are saying, I'm never leaving. We had dinner with some new friends last night, and Pat said, they're carrying me out of my house feet first in a casket. I will never, ever leave. And I can see why. I can see that this is a place that would grow on you day after day after week after week. So,
You found it's been easy to make friends here?
oh, we have more BFFs.
Certainly among the expats. I mean, today we were standing in line at the Intercom Bank to get money out of the ATM, and it ran out. The person in front of us took the last, and there's another couple, and we just kind of looked at each other and said, well, there's another one down there. And we've walked with them down there, and we're connected on Facebook now. You know, I mean, it's just, there's this incredible generosity, and they've only been here two months, but there's this incredible generosity among the expats to help out. And we had lunch with the guy whose house we were going to rent from, and he said, you know, everybody's been through the same issue, and they're willing to share. He says it's like when you go to college, everybody's having to go through the same thing, you know, and they're willing to help you through that process. So it's been amazing.
Yeah. The phone interrupted my thoughts.
They'll do that.
That'll teach me for not turning it off. So you obviously love it here. So and you're making the move, I understand.
Yep.
Coming January 1st.
As soon on or around January 1st as possible. Yeah.
And renting for a year. That's fabulous news.
Yeah.
You've touched upon a lot of things that we sort of had outlined in the questions here. You know, one of the questions, what tips would you give to people coming? You've kind of already mentioned things like staying for 2 weeks rather than 1 week. You know, is there anything else that you can add to that?
Take your seminar.
Take the seminar,
Take
sure.
the seminar. You can't do this by yourself with all the information. Take Ricardo's seminar.
Well, actually, the couple we met at the bank today, when we were all looking for money, they didn't do a seminar. And they talked about the difficulty they've had hooking up with not just a person, like a banker or an attorney, but hooking up with the right one.
Yeah.
And they have, been here 2 months. They were supposed to move down a year ago. So they've been preparing for this for 14 months, and they're still struggling with where to go, who to talk to, and how to figure this out. So definitely take your seminar. Other tips, I would say, what I had read and heard about was this is the world's second best climate. It is eternally spring.
It's warm.
That doesn't mean it doesn't get cold in the morning or hot in the mid-afternoon. So I packed for October, and I've been roasting. Scott packed for a different month, and so we've either been too hot or too cold. So pack for cold and hot, even though it's springtime. You're closer to the equator, and you're at 5,200 feet. And if the wind doesn't blow, that sun is hot and it's intense. So just, you know, be a Girl Scout, come prepared.
Well, that's excellent advice. And hopefully I'm going to convince Camille to do a blog for us on how to dress throughout the seasons here in Lake Chapala once she's lived here for a year. So we're all looking forward to that.
As are we.
Thank you so much, both of you. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you both, and I look forward to having you down here.
It's
Great.
been a pleasure.
And thank you for all your
Ricardo.
help.
Yeah,
We really
you've been instrumental, and Ricardo has this seminar, but what it really is, it is a one-on-one, completely personalized concierge service where you were willing to do anything for us, take us anywhere, and you have been more than accommodating. So thank you.
Well, thanks. I mean,
Yeah,
you're my
thank
guests, and I would do the same for any guests.
But not every seminar does that. So
Well, yeah, and it's true.
yeah, no, this is more than
Good
just
answer.
a seminar. It's
Yeah.
more than just a seminar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And you're a really
Again.
cool guy. So
Pleasure getting to know you both.
Yeah.
Thanks
as
again.
it has
You
been
bet.
for you. Thank you.
Folks, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.